kicking my butt and whatever else, and I don't care. Just annoying. That's what you get. No good deed goes unpunished, sir. Just remember that. All right. All right, here we go. All right, so. Oh, wait, what happened to my thing? Oh, no. I don't know what happened. What happened? Hang on, I'm coming. What just happened here? Give me my other account. Oh, for God's sakes. You've got to be kidding me. 1 minute, Cadence. We'll catch up to you in a minute, Cadence. I promise. It'll be fine. She's watching this at home. Actually, you know what? I'll bet you dimes to donuts she's not watching. You know what I'm saying? It'll be this. Oh, I didn't watch it even though you recorded it for me specifically, Groom. That'll piss me off. Come on. Oh, you got to be kidding me. There it is. Why was that so hard? I don't know. So, as per usual, get a little bit of a PowerPoint to follow so that I don't get lost on my own self. All right, so last time we discussed the idea of an ignition system. We will be going over this a bunch. Oh, now what? Time I'm through with you, you will have this down. You may not know anything else, but you will know this. I don't know what it means, Grim, but I can draw the picture. Cool. Nice. Had a babe. Nice. Okay. Every single ignition system out there has these components in them. Has battery. Okay? Which side is the negative side of the battery? Every time. The long side or the short side? Damn it. What is going on? Oh, there's grease everywhere. Well, you think about that while I go and get some cleaner. That's going everywhere. All right, let's go, Hayden. What side is the negative side? Come on, Hayden. You got this. I don't got this, Drew. Come on, you got this. Is he going crazy? Do you just realize that? Wait, really? Which side? That's a negative side. Daryl? Anybody who was paying attention last time? Negative side of what? Which side? Brown. Well, duh. But which side of the picture, friend? Right. Oh, that's what you Right, left. I don't know. I'm not looking at it. Which side? The short one or the long one? Short is always negative, friends. Always, always. Always, always. There, that wasn't so hard. It only took a minute and a half, 3 minutes, whatever. Yes. Short is always negative. Always, always. Always, always. Mr. Groom, can I just cheat and look at the coil here and be able to tell from there? Yeah. You shouldn't have to, but yeah. Here's my coil. That's right. Now, yesterday we talked about the primary and the secondary windings in there. Or last time I saw you. The primary windings are there. They go from the positive to the negative side. If you're not jotting this down, you probably should. It will be on the freaking test. You don't take it seriously, then go, whatever. I don't care. Don't come. Whatever. I just want to help. Now, you'll notice I drew them last time, such that I just drew them like they're kind of off on their own selves, because they kind of are. But listen, here's the big deal. Here's the big deal. The primary will touch from this positive to this negative. It'll come over to this switch. The real big deal is, on all of these systems, where is the switch located? Right? The big deal will be the switch. Where is it and who fires it? And who runs it? Okay, that's it. Now, you could have a little fella in there switching a switch like this. It could be a computer firing it. It could be mechanical, like the ones I showed you the other day.
Okay? But there has to be a switch. It could live a variety of places. It could actually be in the distributor. Yep. It could be in a little box off to the side of the distributor. Oh, okay. It could be inside the ECM, which may be located inside your vehicle. It could be located, I don't know. Could there be more than one? Yes, there could be more than one switch. Every coil needs a switch. Every coil has to have a switch. My car has 8 coils. Okay, brah, you've got, guess what? 8 switches. It's that easy. But 8 batteries? No, crackhead, they all share the same battery. Okay. But they will all have a switch, every single one of them. My Jeep, 3 coils, 3 switches. There you go. Right, my Bronco, 1 coil, 1 switch. That's it. That's all. That's it. No big deal. That easy. Now, what happens when the switch is closed? We talked about this the other day. I'm going to draw it up. When the switch is closed, what's happening? You're charging the coil. That's right. You're storing up energy. When the switch opens, then what happens? Spark happens. Spark happens. Now, why does that happen? Watch carefully. The secondary coil connects something like this. It'll be different in a couple of different coil applications. This is the primary. The secondary will always go out to the spark plug. Always, 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 always. Okay? The secondary always is the one that's connected to the plug. Okay? Nice. Now, the picture is not drawn to scale. Mr. Groom, shouldn't the secondary have a lot more windings than the primary? Absolutely. Absolutely. Mr. Groom didn't draw it that way, and I apologize. I'm probably over it now, but I'm just saying. Okay. Nice. Nice. Now, of course, the engines that we looked at last time had distributors, yes? So they went out, instead of going straight to a plug, they went to a distributor, which sent it then, okay, you go, then you go, then you go, then you go, then you get one, then you get one, and then you get one. Okay, it's like Oprah. Everybody gets a spark, all right, but one at a time, okay? That's the idea, not hard. But every single system will work like this. Every single one of them. Now, I feel like I was going to say something about that. Hold up. What was it? Secondaries, distributors. Oh, thank you. Now, last time Noah had an interesting question. I liked it, Noah. Why does it go in this order? Okay, we're going to chat about that in a minute, but I'll wait for you to finish the picture. I'll shut up. Scream, you talk too much. It's true, I do. Oh, good. So get this. Enrichment happens in, what, an hour and a quarter? Hour and a half? Hour? Whatever. Guess when I got the instructions about what I'm supposed to do? A half hour ago. Literally 2 seconds ago. That bugs me more than anything else. Okay, it's one thing when a high school kid waits till the last minute to do his frickin' job. Okay? It is quite another thing when you're expecting people to do what you tell them to do, and then you don't tell them what to do until literally half an hour. By the way, it just popped up on my side of my eye over. I'm like, what is this about? Oh, enrichment. Oh, excellent. If I'm busy teaching like I normally do at this point, I don't see this until like about a half an hour from now, 40 minutes from now. And then I'm like, oh, well, that's handy. And I get really pissed off. Now, this person probably thinks they're doing a great job because they got to me before the thing started. I'm not impressed. Now, you get that? Okay. Excellent. Now, Noah, one thing that I want to chat about is this. Every single engine will have what is called a firing order. Every single engine. This is the firing order for this engine. This is the firing order for this engine. This is one for this one. Okay? Every company names their engines differently, unless it's in a straight configuration. Okay? So, last year I showed you pictures of this in Auto 1. This is an inline or straight configuration. If this is front, then it goes 1, 2, 3, ... Yeah, you get an old Packard from 1942. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Good for you. Okay? My Jeep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get a 4-banger, 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Okay? By front of engine, Mr. Grimm, what if my engine sits in cockeyed? It's a good question, and I thank you for asking it. The end that the transmission bolts to is the back end. even if that end happens to be on the driver's side of the vehicle. Does that make sense? Even if that happens to be on the driver's side of the vehicle, that's the back of the engine. The front of the engine is the end away from the transmission. Okay? That is universal. So in a straight configuration, it's pretty easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, as many as you got. That's not hard. If you can't figure that out, I don't know what to tell you. The trick is when they're in a V configuration. They are in a V. Mr. Groom, how does it work? I don't know. It depends, friends. I'll tell you that right now. If it's a Chevy, they'll do it one way. If it's a Ford, it does another way. Chrysler, everybody does them a little different. It is what it is. Hey, here's Ford. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like the good Lord wanted you to do it. All right, whatever. Don't memorize that. I'm just saying some engines will do it this way. Some engines will do it thus. Should I memorize this? No, absolutely not. For gosh sakes, no. Just be aware that all of them will be a little different. Do you memorize them? The Ford stuff I do. Well, that, and I have had many Fords. Chevys I remember too, because I've had many Chevy stuff. Chrysler, it turns out, is just like Chevy, but is the ass backwards? And the odds might be on the other side. I don't remember. Mr. Groom, does it matter? Yes, but do I have to memorize it? No, there's a little thing called the giggles. Giggle it. Firing order. Well, I'm doing cylinder numbering. Right now, I'm doing cylinder numbering.
So, like, what is this type?
That's a V. It's a V. It's a V-shaped engine. Yeah. It's a V shape. Yeah. Yep. The V. Could they be a V6? Yes. And again, some of them are odds and evens. Some will jump back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, 6, 7, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. It is. It happens. It is what it is. Is it important that I know which one's which on the engine I'm working on? Well, absolutely. Absolutely. And these are examples, friends. Don't go home and like, oh, Mr. Groom said they're all like this. No. I will say Ford has been since the 40s, Ford has been very consistent about 1, 2, 3, 4 on the passenger side, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the other side. Yay. I think that's cool. Whatever. I don't know. GM, I'm pretty sure has been this way the whole time too. Don't quote me on that. But what about Pontiac? I don't know. That's what Google's for. Okay? By the way, Pontiac's been dead for a long time. It makes me sad. Now, suffice to say, you kind of need to know what the cylinder numbering is before you start talking about who goes where. In other words, hey, Mr. Reed, you're first. Who's Reed? Oh, we don't have a Reed, or no one knows who Reed is, or that's weird. Okay? It'd be nice if you know who's who. That's why we need to number them. Okay? Once they're numbered, then we're going to say, all right, you're next, you're next, you're next, you're next, you're next, you're next. Okay? So, in the case of a Ford, this is not all Fords, this is some Fords. 1, 5, 4, 6, 3, 2, 7, 8. Mr. Groom, how do you memorize that? That is what it is, man. 1, 5, 4, 3, 1, 4, 4, 3, 6, 2, 7, 1, 6, 3, 2, 7, 8. It's 3, 6, 2. No, it's 6, 3. No, I can't remember. I'm going to giggle it. Mr. Groom, does it matter? Yes, but are you going to memorize it? No. Oh, I get it backwards. It's 3, 6, isn't it? 1, 5, 4, 3, 6. No, that's not right either. Come on, dumbass. 1, 5, 4, 3, 6. It is 1, 5, 4, 3, 6, 2, 7, 8. Not that I care, because I'm not holding you to it, okay? I'm just saying this is an example of a Ford firing order. It's not the only one Ford uses. Wait, what? They number them this way, but they don't always fire them in that order. Correct. Correct. In this case, in the case of this, it would go, this one fires, this is the front of the engine. It would go this one first, and then this one, and then that one, and then this one, and then 6, and then this one, and then this one, and that one. That's weird. It is a little weird. It's like 2, 2, and then what? Weird. Okay? I didn't make it up. That's just how it works. Okay? On this particular one, Mr. Groom. Okay? Now, a couple things we're going to chat about. And we're going to look at this on an engine in just a minute. We're going to spin one around. You're going to be able to see, wait, what's going on? And that is this. When you have 8 cylinders, you're going to break this down like so and like so. There's the first 4 and then the second 4. I personally write it like this. like that. 1, 5, 4. That's not. This just freaks me out a little bit. You know what I've been doing the last 2 days? I've been like reaching up and my freaking, oh, that's what the problem is. It's not a huge deal. I'm just going to change one thing around. Well, 2 things. These suckers. It's 2, 6, 3, 7, 8. No, it's 1, 5, 4, 2, 6, 3, 7, 8. 2, 6, 3. It's only pissing me off because the next step is what I know is right, okay? And so if I took a Ford engine, which I have one over there, it's put together, and when I spin it around in just a minute, I want the right ones to line up. That's why it's a little important to get it right here, okay? Because if I go over there and you're like, Mr. Groom, you're wrong, it's going to piss me off, okay? It's going to just make me angry a little bit, okay? I apologize. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this thing in half. 6, 3, 7, 8. And what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to use a different color pen so you can see what I'm doing. 1 and 6, 5 and 3, 4 and 7, and 2 and 8. These guys are called companion cylinders. And what that means is that their pistons will be in the same place at the same time all the time. If number 1 is at top dead center, number 6 is also at top dead center. If number 1's at the bottom, number 6 is at the bottom. If number 1 is halfway on the way up, so is number 6. They move in unison with one another. Does that mean they're on the same stroke? No, they're not on the same stroke. If this one's coming up on compression, this one's coming up on... Did you say exhaust? Is that what you said? Well, good for you, because that's right. Yeah, this one's coming up on power. This one's coming up on compression. This one's coming up on exhaust. Hey, this one's going down on power. This one's going down on intake. Exactly. Now you're like, that's literally all there is to companion. That's it. That's all there is to companion cylinders. It's very straightforward. Now, we're going to do some different things with this as we go along. Here is another Ford firing order. Again, nothing about other than just this, the one that comes to my mind. If I sat down and thought of it, I could pull a Chevy off my head too, but here it goes. Don't write this down. Just play along with me. 1, 2, 6, 5, 4, 8. Nice. See what I did there? Do you see what I did there? Well, I don't know. Let's take these 4 guys and put them under here. 6, 5, 4, 8. What did I do? Did I change who the companion cylinders are? No. I just changed the order in which they fire, yes? So in other words, up here, if this guy was going to be on compression, this guy was going to be on exhaust, yes? Down here, flips it around.
So is 5 and 3 always a companion?
On a Ford engine, 5 and 3 are always companion cylinders. Don't memorize it, just write it down. Okay? Now, Mr. Groom, give us another example of this scenario. Sure, I'd love to. For instance, on a straight 6 cylinders in a row, like that one over there, like that one over there. Front of the engine, back of the engine, cool. The numbers go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The firing order goes 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, 4. That's for all straight 6 engines across the board. That's always been that way. The reason it does it that way is so that when you when they fire, it balances out all the vibrations. Okay? By the way, straight 6, very cool engine. It is the smoothest running engine ever because everything is perfectly balanced. It's a really cool feature of them. They're too freaking long. Think about this. When did in the late 80s, they started putting engines in crooked, sideways, yes? Front wheel drive, front wheel drive. Now, if you put a straight 6 in sideways, how wide your car got to be? Like 6 feet wide. And the engine base got to be 18 feet wide or something to get in there, right? Because you got to get the transmission behind that on the side of the engine. It's just too much, okay? But I've always had a thing for them. They're kind of long and sexy, and I just kind of like them. The most thing I like about them is that they fit. There's a ton of room to work around them, okay? as opposed to a V6, which annoys me because a V6 doesn't get that much more power less power than a V8, but it's just as hard to work on. Usually in a car, there's not a ton of room to work on them. Whereas a straight six, you can crawl in there with the thing. Even I can fit in there next to the thing. And I'm, big and ugly. Which one? Oh, we're not just talking about just 300s. Like, so my 4-liter in the Jeep. No, listen, are they big horsepower monsters? No. Some of them can be, but the ones, like, for instance, the Ford 300, which everyone talks about, oh, yeah, it's a stump puller. Oh, it's fine. I've had several of them. I like them. They're very dependable. They go. And they're great for what they do, which is, haul a little bit of wood, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. If you're talking about, like, pulling 3 or 4 horses in a horse trailer up a mountain, it'll get you there tomorrow. I mean, it's going to take a while, all right? You could walk up faster probably. But just note that they do it a little slower because they don't have the power. Okay, speed is all about horsepower. Horsepower, that's all about getting me there faster. Torque is about getting me there. Okay, we'd like a blend of the two. It'd be nice. All right. So my old Bronco had one, the straight six. I remember I used to put a ton of wood pellets in the back when we lived up in Idaho. I'd go bombing up this hill, 65 all the way up. It'd do it. It's just screaming all the way up. But it'd do it. 460 would have done it faster. It would drink a lot more gas doing it, right? It's just all about trade-off. Something I'm big deal. I'm going to take a little side tour here for a moment. I'm going to do it. I don't care if you like it or not. A lot of people, I'm going to go get it. They'll tell me, I'm just going to go buy a diesel. I'm like, okay, why? They get better mileage. Okay. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to, so how often do you like pull stuff? Well, I could take the little small little trailer to the beach a couple times a year. Oh, okay. And then what do you do with the rest of the year? It pretty much just sits in my driveway. So let me get this straight. You're making payments on it, like big payments on it. You're paying big insurance on it. Oil changes, even to do your own oil changes now, it's almost $100 on a lot of diesel stuff now, all right? Versus an oil change on a gas rig, nothing. So are you saying I should go get something with a big 460 in it just to go to the beach and back? I would. Do you know why I would? Because you can burn a lot of gas and still be less than one diesel payment, one good new truck payment. You know what I'm saying? So that's me personally. I look at it, I'm like, that bugs me. Okay, that's just me. If I'm pulling all day, every day, like across the country, back and forth and back, back and forth and back, thousands and thousands, yes, get a diesel. For God's sakes, get a diesel. All right? If it's just about showing off, oh, yeah, I'm a big dude. I don't know. Maybe just find a different way to show off. Or, don't. I don't care what you do. I'm just saying it pisses me off a little bit. Okay? Now, again, could I make one of these guys have high horsepower? Absolutely. The way I would do it is put a different camshaft in it. Okay? If you want to make bigger torque or bigger horsepower, you need to put a different camshaft in it. It's about when the timing happens. Okay? And how long the valves stay open. I can make them go open longer. I can make them open them bigger. I can do all different things with them. And there's camshafts that are made for torque, and there's cams that are made for horsepower. And they can't have both. Okay? One of my favorite football players of all time is John Riggins. He was fast and he was big. There's only one John Riggins. Usually they're tiny little farts, running backs, or they're great big offensive linemen. Okay? He was kind of a half-breed of the two. All right? That's weird. You usually cannot get both. Okay? If you get something that's going to make you high horsepower, it will. You want to make high torque too? Yes, way out there, like 6,000 RPMs. That's not okay. I do not want to rev my engine up to 6,000 RPMs and dump the clutch when I'm trying to pull a horse trailer. That's not okay. Okay? I would like to just into the load. Okay? But if I'm out racing, like doing drag racing stuff, I want big horsepower. Let's get going. Okay? So just be aware of that. So not this engine, like again, a big straight six or whatever, is not inherently low horsepower. It is the ones you're thinking of are low horsepower because they're put in trucks and they're meant to have torque. That's their thing. Okay. Now back to this. Who are the companion cylinders here? 6
and 1.
Okay. So listen, take these guys here, put them under here, and go 6, 2, 4. So 1 and 6 are companions. 2 and 5. 3 and 4. Wait, so the outside 2 go together? The next 2 in go together? and the middle two go together. Exactly right. That's what we're talking about with companion cylinders. Does that make sense? Okay, that's it. That's all there is to it. Again, if one is on the power stroke, what's going on with 6? So power's coming down. Which other one's going down? Intake. Exactly right. Does that make sense?
Wouldn't it, so if for a specific brand and the specific engine for that brand, is this always the same?
Okay, listen carefully. The only one that was without exception failed, never changes, ever changes, is the straight 6. It's always 153-624. And the reason for that is because it makes it perfectly balanced when you do it this way. If you fire them in different orders, which you literally could, the thing would be jumping around like a jumping bean. And you'd be like, oh, my truck's jumping like crazy. Yeah, that's what happens. This way here, it's perfectly balanced. Now, V's are different. V's are inherently unbalanced engines, okay? So it doesn't really matter which way you go about it, okay? Chevy went one way, Ford went another way, Chrysler went, whatever. It doesn't matter, okay? What about Toyota? They're different too. Do you know? No, I don't. You know how I do it? Firing order. Yeah. Are they in our programs? Absolutely. Does it matter? Well, it certainly does if I'm working on the car. Yes. Does it matter that I can show off to you? Not really. I don't know. If you're impressed by this, you need to get out more. Okay? I'm sorry. You just need to get out more. Okay? Now, companion cylinders. Kind of a big deal. So when you come over here and look at one, let's see. Oh, let's see the cars in the road, isn't it? Well, I'm just going to wheel it over here. You sit tight for a minute. This is what happens when you don't have prep. Remember that. This room is never perfectly organized. Well, first of all, this room is never perfectly organized, ever. But it's worse than this year. It's pretty Duramax. You want a big boy now? Don't hit the Mercedes, Mr. Groom. Don't do it.
Pretty much required outside.
Oh, I was going to get my engine out, but that's right, my engine's in storage. What a dumbass. All right, well, we'll use this one. All right. We'll use this one. It's fine. I don't care. Whoops. What a moron. All right, we'll use this one. Okay, so this is the engine that we're going to put back together as part of our class. We'll get to know our enemy. Voila!
Oh my God.
This is a 318. I was looking to bring out my 302, but this is fine. Okay, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. This engine was in an old truck out back. It was kind of a truck. It wouldn't free up. It wouldn't run, or it wouldn't turn over at all. So I took it apart, re-rigged it, and I'm going to put it back together. I honed it out. Mr. Grimm, those cylinders don't look great. They're fine for what we're doing. Would I drive it as a daily driver? Yeah, because I'm crazy enough to do it. Will it maybe burn some oil when we start it up? Probably a little bit. That's fine. Don't care? Not really. No, it's more for a class deal. So it was supposed to be done a couple of years ago. I thought during the first bout of the COVIDs, I thought, oh, this will be great. I will just do this. It'll be good. I'll show the children. Won't that be fun? Yeah, except that it didn't really happen that way, which, whatever. Don't care. So, I got about this far, and I said, you know what? Screw that. This year I'm doing an auto 2 with you guys. We're putting it back together. Okay? So, a couple things. We talked about the distributor. Distributor goes right through this hole right here. Camshaft is right under here. You can see it hiding in there. And at the back end of it, you can actually see the gear right here that the distributor runs on. Okay? See it? This little gear right there. If you can't see it, feel free to move a little bit. Okay? The distributor runs right through here, hooks onto the camshaft right here. Okay, this is the Chrysler, this is the back of the engine, this is the front of the engine. Okay? By the way, if you walk up to an engine on a stand like this, you're not going to scare it. But if you walk up to it, The side that's hooked to the stand is always the back of the engine. Okay, just FYI, we'll get to that later. But there it is. Ford, the distributor will be up here on the front. That's the big difference. Chrysler and Chevy put them on the back. Whatever. It is what it is, friends. Why does your nose look funny? I don't know. Everything's a little different. Is it the same? It's the same. It's just different, bro. So here we go. Our lifters will go in these little bores here. We'll get around and putting these back together later on. Okay, the little lifters. They are what actually rides up and down on the shaft. Push rods will come up to here. The heads will go up here on top of this guy. And we're going to put her back together and make her run. Now, said all that to say that I'm going to get a 15, 16, so I need each and an 8. The Dodge is weird. We're going to spin this baby around. We need to look up the firing order for a 318 and the cylinder numbering for a 318. Mr. Graham, don't you know that? No, I don't. Pretty sure it's Chevy-like in terms of its numbering, but I don't recall. So I'm going to giggle it right now. What are you doing, Groom? I'm just Googling. I'm going to come out here and go, 318 cylinder. Just came out what last week?
No, 32 last week.
Oh, nice. All right, here we go. All right. So I was right. It's Chevy-like. Chevy-like. So we're 1. We're odds and we're evens. We're going 1, 8, and so on and so on and so on. Who should be my companion cylinders?
1 and 2, 3 and 4. No.
1 and who? 1 and 6, 8 and 5, 4 and 7, and 3 and 2, right? So 1 is here, and 6 is right here. Hey, they're on the bottom. Let's see what happens when I turn this goofy thing. Okay? Good Lord, it's 1 1/4 inches. Oh, I need to show off. I'm going to make my crankshaft rocket 1 1/4 inches for no reason. One moment, please. Not the biggie, the normal size like Ford or Chevy. All right, here we go. See if this is true. See if it agrees with us. Okay. Coming around. Number 1 is almost on top. Number 1 is on top. And number 6 is on top. Son of a biscuit. Who knew? Now, by the way, if I'm looking at these, this one here is on top. These two are dead smack in the middle. You see 2 of those over there?
Yeah.
Do you? I'm just asking. I don't know. No, you don't. You don't. This one here is like pretty much flat on the bottom. You see one of those over there?
No.
Where? This guy here is pretty much dead on the bottom, isn't he? I feel like he is. This is number 7. Check it out. Number 7. And who's that fella?
2.
Number 4.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah, you have to look down.
So why is 7 and 4 doing the same thing? Because they're companions, yes? These 2 guys here are 3 and 5. 3 and 5. Are they companions? They are not companions. 3 and 5 are not companions. 3 and 2 should be companions. So 3 is here, and 3 is here, and 2 is here. Are they companions? They look out here halfway?
Yeah, they're
Roughly. And then this guy here and that guy there should match up. Now watch carefully. These 2 are in the middle, those 2 are in the middle. My guess is that 2 of them are going to be going up, 2 of them are going down, yes? Let's see. This guy's coming up. This is number, come on, Jay. Number 5. And who is 5 a companion cylinder with? 8. Right? 5 and 8. Yep, coming up, coming up. Here we come. Hey, I'm on top. Are you on top?
Yeah.
Hot diggity. And there it is. Question. Who is on compression right now? This one or that one? That can never happen. Okay? That can never, that's a firing order. Yes? It's this one, then that one, then this one, then that one. Well, how would I know, Groom? It's all about the cam. I will not know until if I had the head on here and I had the push rods in here, I would see this one, if it was on compression, what my valves would. They'd be open or closed? Closed. And then this one, if this one's coming up on compression, this one's coming up on exhaust, yes? So what should the valves be doing over here?
Open.
Which one?
Exhaust.
Exhaust should be open. Exactly right. And that's how I would know. I won't know until I understand how the cam is working in relation to this. Okay? In fact, when I'm building my new Bronco, so several years ago I started building a new engine for my Bronco. Oh gosh, that's probably been 10 years ago now. No, not that long. 8 years ago now. I was going to build one specifically because it runs propane and gas, but I run propane most of the time. Propane can take a little higher compression, so my idea was I'm going to build it a little more purpose-built for propane. I'm going to be excited about it, whatever. And so I'm starting to go through it, and I said, you know what I want to do is, when they made the high-performance 302, they changed the firing order a little bit. And the 351 has a different firing order too. And so what I did is I went online, I was like checking stuff out, and I ordered a camshaft that was a little different. And so when I built, but I haven't finished the engine yet, so, but anyways, the firing order that I used, 154, 26378, is that right? 26378. That was what it had originally, and I put this camshaft in instead. 153, 2, 6, 5, 4, 8, whatever. I just flopped the fire. I just flopped our. I just changed around our companion cylinders. That's all I did. If you were a person who like, oh, I know Ford 302s. This has the firing order is 154. If you put the distributor on that that way, it would not run. It would not run because the way I put it in, I changed it around. Instead of 5 being on compression, now 3 is on compression. Okay. Now the reason they did that was because Ford decided that if this one fires and then this one fires, you're putting a lot of load on the crankshaft right on the front bearing. Okay. So I thought, well, I'll change it. I don't know. I just did something different, man. Will it run just fine? Yeah, it'll run just fine, bro. If you could find one with a different firing order, it would work too. That's just weird. Okay. That is a big deal. Companion cylinders is a huge concept for us. So is the cam. Now, what I brought in over here today, I got the heads are going to be sitting over here. Later in the period, my plan is, I'm not sure if I'm going to have all of you come help it or not, but I'm going to, we're going to take those valves out. We're going to take the valves out and we're going to grind the valves and the seats. Give it a valve job before we put it back together. Now, what's up, dude? What are you yabbering about? Now, part of the reason that we're going to do that is this. That engine was full of water. Was one of the valves open? Yes or no? Was a valve open for sure? Yes or no? How do you know? Why? Yes, you do. Tell me why. No, that's not okay. You can't be my mom just because I told so. No, why? What? It has to be open. Why does one of them have to be open?
One of them is going to be on exhaust.
One of them will be on exhaust for sure, right? And one of them will be on intake for sure. For sure, right? Guaranteed. That is why this thing had water in the cylinders, right? Because it got water rained in it. It flooded it through. Okay, that's the problem. Now, what's going to happen to those valve seats? The valves, the edge of the valve faces, they're all going to be worn off. So we're going to go back. We're going to do a quick valve job on this thing. And this is something we're going to do kind of on the side as we're going along. Okay? Now, somewhere, I got more notes here. Hang on. All right. Somewhere. Click it. Oh, yeah. So there's a couple other types of ignitions that I want to talk about. Okay? We've talked about the distributor type. And I think next week we're going to do a couple of examples of these guys, like in person. Like, oh, here's one. Here's an example of this guy. Oh, is that the end of the period? Is that lunch? Is that the end of the period? Good. You can't leave yet. I don't want the freshmen yet. I guess you could leave and then the freshmen don't have to show up. That'd be all right.
Yeah. We just go. And you have like
No, so distributor type is a big deal. Okay? Oh. Hang on. Shh. Quiet.
Hey.
Oh.
What?
Well, maybe next week they're going to fix my thing. So that makes me happy. I was just getting excited. Maybe they're going to change it today. No. It's too late, Mr. Grimm. Can't change it today. So distributor types. This is one kind. Another kind is called waste spark. Okay, this is one coil up here, one coil shared between all cylinders. All right, that is the original style of these. It was a distributor. Okay, waste spark, one coil per 2 cylinders. Okay, one coil for every 2 cylinders. Okay. Now, what that means is this: the companion cylinders will both get a spark at the same time. So let's think about this. When do I want to fire the spark plug to run the engine? I want to fire it when that piston's coming up on compression, yes? Well, what's its companion going to be doing? Coming up on exhaust. What would happen in the cylinder if you fired a spark plug during the exhaust stroke? Nothing. Wait, but that's like a wasted spark, Mr. Groom. That's why they call it a waste spark. Okay? That's where it came from. So in this scenario, the companion cylinder spark plugs will both fire at the same time. The one on compression does something. The other one is wasted. And that's why they call it a waste spark system. Okay? That will always be true. Okay? Companion cylinders. One on compression, one on exhaust. That will always be true. I don't care what car it is. I don't care where it came from. Can you knock it off, please? Thanks. That will always be true. Okay? Now, this was, give or take, but about the second of these to show up on the scene. Okay? This started happening in the 90s, somewhere in there. This one started happening. Now, picture this. If you got your little gal Marcy in the computer, doing her thing, right? In the early, now granted, Mr. Goomy, we weren't alive in the 90s. Huh? What's the matter? Mason, what's the matter? Companion cylinders, one on compression, one on exhaust. Sorry. Mr. Goomy looks like hieroglyphics. You suck at writing. I do. You're not wrong. But remember, my little gal Marcy's part of the computer. Computers used to suck. So now she had to pay attention to not only how much fuel it needed, but also when to fire the exhaust, when to fire each of those switches. Dude, she's not fast enough to do that. So on an 8-cylinder engine, instead of having to fire 8 separate switches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, she fired 4. 4. I can't count either. Nice. And she was able to pull that off. All right? Computers processing speed-wise, they were able to pull that off. That's one of the biggest reasons they went that way. Okay? Now, after that, they started going to coil on plug. By the way, Mr. Grimm, a waste spark system, wouldn't there have to be like a coil here and then like a spark plug wire running to this spark plug? And one running this way as well? Absolutely. Well, it's not really that big a deal. It's just, there's more farting around. All right? There's more things that could go wrong. The coil could be bad. A plug wire could be bad. A variety of things could go wrong. The last style is what's called coil on plug. Hey, the coil literally lives on top of the plug. There is no plug wire anymore. That's kind of nice. It's one less thing to fart around about. In this case, each cylinder gets its own coil. Okay, so a 4-cylinder engine is going to have 4 coils. Okay, 8's going to have 8. 6 going to have 6. If you're a fan of some newer engines, so like the newer Hemis, they have 1 coil, but they have 2 spark plugs on that cylinder. That's still technically a coil on plug scenario. That one, their plugs are side by side, so there's 2 parts that go down onto each of them, but from 1 coil. That's pretty nice. Ford's 6.2 liter gas engine, there's 2 plugs as well. It sits on top of this one, and there's a little spark plug wire that goes to this fella. They're on opposite sides of it. Yeah, but still what you'd call coil on plug. My dad has a Chevy with a 5.3 liter LS. Well, good for you, sir. That is more or less. Was that right? Was that a guess? Oh, nice. Good call. It's not really much of a hard guess, all right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's one of the big 3. Anyway, listen. It is more or less coil on plug. You're like, but wait, I see a little tiny spark plug wire. Okay, technically those are called coil near plug. Really not a whole lot of difference. Okay, these 2, coil on plug and coil near plug, in my mind are the same thing. Okay, they're the same thing. There's a tiny little wire, that's the only difference between them. Okay, either it physically sits on top of it, or there's a little tiny wire and it lives over here. Okay, but they're right next to them. There's really no difference. In terms of how this kind is controlled, whether it's coil on plug or coil near plug, it's exactly the same in terms of how everything works. Okay, these are the 3 big styles that we will focus in on. Okay, we will look at them a little bit more next week. We will look at some patterns on the scope in terms of how what the electrical patterns should look like. And we'll see where we're going on that. This class goes to 11:51. Is that true? Or does it go to? I am so confused. Does it go to 12:21? 12:21. So I have a half an hour. Okay, sweet. All right, great, cool. Now, don't go anywhere. We're not done. What are you doing? You stop it right now, sir. You stop it right now. You stop right now.
Sorry.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Groom, could you draw us the picture for, I'm going to start off with coil on plug. Coil on plug, or sometimes referred to as COP. Could I draw this picture? Yes. I'm going to draw this for a 4-cylinder engine, if that's okay with you. Why? Because I'm lazy and I want to draw 8 of them. That's why. It's the only reason. Are you with me? That's it. Nice. Now, here we go. Mr. Groom is going to draw a coil like thus, a little boot like so, and then my spark plug down here like thus. You suck at drawing. Yes, I'm well aware of that. Mr. Groom, are you just going to copy and paste it again? I think so. It's a good question. Copy, paste, paste. My engine's broken. It's going downhill. What happened?
You need to draw all those?
No, well, I'm drawing them all. Yes. Yes, you should. I just pasted them. It's fine. Listen, this is the picture. I'll let you take your time. They're going downhill, but not on purpose. I suck at drawing. I can't even cut and paste. They're supposed to be in a nice straight line. I'm sorry. Okay. This is what words are for. This is a coil. This is a spark plug. And literally, that's all I'm doing. Okay. Now, at the bottom of each of these plugs, they are screwed into the head. So guess what? They're grounded. So I'm going to put a little ground on each of the bottom of these guys. Huh? You get that drawn up yet?
Sir.
Nice work. Is it legible?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Not in a straight line, too.
Show off. Freaking show off. So far, so bueno. Just relax. So far, so bueno. I'm going to add a little positive mark on them, a little plus sign on one side. That's hot. Oh, that's hot. And watch Mr. Groom. Oh, I don't know why it did that. Plus side. Plus side. Plus side. Plus side. So far, Mr. Groom has connected from the battery positive to the positive side of the coil, to the positive side of the primary. Okay? So far, that's all I've done. That's it. That's all. Mr. Groom, where did the switch live in this situation? Turns out that Marcy is who runs our switch. So somewhere, we're going to have our little ECM over here. Engine control module. Here's Mars doing her thing. Okay? Each one of these guys, each one of them will run a wire to her. Now, this is going to be a big deal. I'm going to start teaching it in Auto 2, so by the time you guys are in Auto 3, I don't have to teach it 18 times. Like, do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember? So I'm going to start beating the crap out of it in this class this year. Why are you using different colors, Mr. Groom? Well, I'll tell you why. There are 4 switches. What?
I get some more.
Yes. Where? Well, wait, stop. Are you going all the way to B building?
Yeah.
You suck. Hang on. Wait, stop, stop. No, that's fine. Go ahead. I still have some. Hurry up, run. Now.
I might have them.
Hurry. 1, 2. Listen. Now, why do they each have a different color? Yes, you do. What? Because they have each have their own switch. They're all unique. Okay? They share power, but they are each going to get grounded one at a time. Okay? Marcy, that's where the switches live. They live inside the ECM. Marcy's in charge of turning them on and off. That's who does it. Okay? They each have their own wire. That will always be true. You take that to the frickin' bank, my friend, every time.
Let me find out the colors.
Wait, what? What'd you say? No, say it again. Oh, okay. No, I thought you said something cool, like about wiring.
Nope, I didn't.
Mr. Groom, is it true that on a wiring diagram, I would be able to tell just by looking which one's the ground wire and which one's the hot wire? Yes. Hey, there's 4 coils there, Mr. Groom. Red, red, red. Hey, they all share a red wire. Hey, there's a weird different colored wire on the other side. That's right. That weird different colored wire will always be the signal wire, which will always be the negative. It's the one that tells it when to fire. Every time. Every time. Take it to the bank, sir. I'm looking at you, sir. Every time. Okay? That is how they will work. Now, before we go, I'm just about done, I think. Yeah, Marine, I'm going to try. Oops, I'm going to show one more thing today before we probably quit talking. And I'm going to open up a pro demand here real quick. Mr. Grim, are you going to make us do this later? Yes, absolutely. Not right now. Now, pro demand, I am going to look up an engine that I know has what I want to show you. Because, well, that's what I want to do. 98, maybe. Ford, pickup. 4.6, F-150, sure, don't care, doesn't matter. Okay, here we go. Okay. Watch this. Engine performance. Let's look it up. If you scroll through here, you're going to see some things. First of all, that's where Marcy's house is over yonder. Okay? Now, could her house show up on multiple pages? Perhaps. As I scroll through here, I am looking for a coil. Wait. Oh, damn it. I looked at the wrong engine. I was looking at Waste Spark, and I knew that. I'm sorry. Let me get you one that has what I want. Just a minute. One moment, please. There we go, moron. Let's try that again. Yes, Ford. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Here we go. Sure. Hurry up. Let's go. It took too long. Hurry up. Nobody cares. Now, Shut up. Here we go. Now, in here, we're going to see coils. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Hey, there's Marcy's house. PCM. She lives in the PCM on that one, yo. Aha! Here are our ignition coils, friends. Now do tell, which of these wires are the positives and which ones are the negatives that go to the computer? I've got green, violet, and blue, brown. I've got white, brown, and green, violet. I've got violet, brown, and green, violet. For God's sakes, which one's positive? The green, violet, because they share it. Are you with me? That's the one. Can you pull your mask out? Or hurry up. That is the one that they share. This will be the hot side. This is the positive side. The one that's the oddball color, that's the one that goes back to the computer every single time. Okay? Now the cool thing about these is, on these diagrams, you can click them. Mr. Groom, suppose I clicked on this wire right here. I don't know, friend, what if you did? Well, it goes off the page. Well, then let's follow it, see where she goes. Where are you going? You're still going. Ha-ha! Where'd it go? It went to Marcy's house, yo. It went to Marcy's house. And what's Marcy going to do in there? She is going to ground that wire when she's told to do so. By the way, we will continue chatting about these as we go, but when does Marcy know, how does she know when to fire it? What? How? Sensors. What sensor, sir? Camshaft? Crankshaft. Yeah, CKP. Crankshaft. Exactly right. What are you talking about?
CO2 sensors.
There's no such thing as a CO2 sensor, bro. There's oxygen sensors, but not CO2. O2. No, but thanks for playing. Anyways, friends, she needs to know where the engine's at. As I said, on every single car, every single engine out there has to know where the pistons are. The distributor type engines know that because the distributor is connected to the cam is connected to the crank. That's how it knows, okay? It's all mechanical. In the case of this style of engine, yes, the cam and cranks are still connected. That's lovely, but Marcy needs to know. So we put on sensors, a crank sensor and a cam sensor, so that she can look at that and go, okay, now it's time to go. Okay, now it's time to go. Okay, she knows how to do that. Okay. So as we're going along, we're going to continue talking about these as we go. Do I draw it today? Yeah, I'm going to draw it today. Well, no, what time is it? All right, let's stop talking. Let's go over and have